Right now, Dane County board members share what they're looking for in the hiring of the next Human Services Director after rejecting Sheila Stubbs for that role.
Plus, what Assembly Speaker Robin Vos thinks needs to happen for Republicans to win Wisconsin in the 2024 presidential race.
And a surge expected at the border with 1 week remaining on a pandemic-era immigration policy. How the U.S. is preparing for an expected influx of migrants. It's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. We do have breaking news out of Janesville at this hour. Police there say a high school coach is facing child pornography charges after a recording device was found in a girl's locker room at Craig High School. 38-year-old Brian Kitzman identified as the suspect shortly after that device was found.
Janesville police say he's coached various teams for Craig High School. Now, despite a News 3 Now policy not to name people accused of crimes until they've been formally charged, we are naming Kitzman because of the nature of the crime, and there are potentially student victims involved. Police will provide more information Monday afternoon in a press conference. Stay with News 3 Now on air and online for the very latest.
This is a flawed process in which they have actually never given me a chance. They had no intentions.
Strong words from Representative Sheila Stubbs after the Dane County Board of Supervisors rejected her confirmation as Director of Human Services. Now, County Exec Joe Parisi will need to come up with a new name because that role still needs to be filled, and board members are sharing what they think it'll take for Parisi to find a candidate of their liking.
They want to see a more rigorous hiring process, saying not enough time or resources went into Stubbs' nomination. Tahlil Mohideen shares where their concern was in this situation.
This board, Mr. Chair, was asked to evaluate and act on this nomination. Mr. Chair, we did that.
Making it clear they're not afraid to ruffle some feathers.
There is a misnomer that our job as a county board is to be a rubber stamp.
Members of the Dane County Board are sending a message.
Resolution is denied.
As critical as many were of State Representative Sheila Stubbs' qualifications as the next Director of Human Services, ahead of a 27-2 majority vote against, a lot of their criticism was aimed at the man behind her appointment. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi.
It was open for less than 3 weeks. There was only one round of interviews and only 3 people on the interview panel, all of whom work for the county.
County supervisors questioned Parisi's nomination process, suggesting not enough time or resources were spent on finding the right candidate to match the weight of the role, managing 800 employees and $240 million in county funds. Unlike with previous nominations.
The executive had fancy outside screening teams, conducted national searches, and held town hall meetings to get public input.
And with Stubbs out of the picture in what Parisi called an unprecedented move, he may have to take their feedback in stride.
How some of these appointments have moved through previous boards may not have had questions or objections. That is not this board.
Tahlil Mohideen, News 3 Now.
We've reached out to Parisi's office for a statement on what comes next, but have not heard back. Well, as you think about your weekend, you'll want to know there's a possibility of some strong storms.
We're already seeing some raindrops across Madison tonight. Julian Seawright has what you need to know now with a first warn forecast. Julian?
That's right. So the rain is already starting to fall out here on our weather patio, and we're going to be expecting these showers throughout the rest of tonight into our early Saturday morning. But the thing is, folks, is this weekend it will be mild, but we are looking for back and forth of shower activity and even some potential storms that could be strong and severe for some areas. Now, as we take a look at our current temperature, still feels really good outside. It's 10 o'clock and it's 63 degrees in Madison. It feels like summer outside for us as of right now. But as we continue to look around Dane County, many of us are still within the lower to mid 60s as we kick off the rest of our Friday night. Now, moving into the rain. Where is it? Well, throughout Dane County, we're looking at that band of showers starting to continue to develop throughout much of southern Wisconsin, but mainly the southwestern parts of southern Wisconsin into the far northwest is where we are seeing that rain as of right now. So it's been bounded off for areas to the east with some dry slotting. But as of right now, in the next 3 hours, we're really just going to be watching from areas of Madison to the west and to the northwest to be seeing much of that shower activity that could potentially spawn a thunderstorm as we get into later parts of tonight. Now, we do have a marginal risk for tomorrow for areas just south and west of Madison, but also a slight and marginal risk for the same areas, but a bit more expanded just east of Madison. Parts of Jefferson County and Rock County will be under this marginal risk, with slight risk for parts of Crawford and Grant County going into our Sunday. So the timeline we're going to be watching for those storms to spawn will be breaking that down in a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
Julian, thank you. Madison police are working to determine a motive on what appears to be a seemingly random killing just outside the Badger Tavern. Officers were called there after midnight and found a 44-year-old man with a gunshot wound. Life-saving aid was given, but the man died at the scene. A 23-year-old man was arrested and faces charges of first-degree intentional homicide. Between 12 witnesses and surveillance footage, no one knows why he shot and killed the man. Not only did the suspect and victim apparently not even know each other, there was no altercation leading up to that shooting. Police believe he may have been under the influence. And once again, a reminder, you can stay connected with what's happening by simply downloading our Channel 3000 News 3 Now mobile app. Turn on your push notifications so you never miss a breaking news story. A Fitchburg man has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for recklessly endangering safety in a shooting from last summer. Prosecutors say Dwayne Pickens Jr. shot at another man while the two were in separate vehicles at an intersection last June. It followed an argument that the men had gotten into at a nearby gas station. Pickens pleaded guilty to a charge of first-degree reckless endangerment by use of a dangerous weapon and possession of a firearm as a convicted felon. 2 bail jumping counts against him were dismissed.
In December, a McFarland woman was killed after her SUV caught fire while she was trapped inside, unable to free herself. Now federal safety regulators are investigating why she couldn't get out. 73-year-old Mary Fromm died late last year after her Dodge Journey caught fire. She called her fiance and told him the car was having electrical problems and that smoke was coming from the dashboard. She dialed 911, but by the time the firefighters arrived, her car was fully engulfed in fire. Now, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is investigating whether inoperative door locks and windows can prevent people from getting out of SUVs during emergencies. More than 82,000 journeys from the 2009 model year are covered in the probe. Tough words today from Wisconsin's Assembly Speaker as he painted a bleak picture for Wisconsin Republicans if Donald Trump is their nominee for next year's election. Political reporter Will Keneally has more from the Capitol.
Charlotte, we're actually a few months away from the first Republican presidential primary, which will be in August in Milwaukee. And ahead of that, we heard from Assembly Speaker Robin Vos today, who says who he doesn't want to see emerge from that primary.
I imagine at the time, if the captain of the Titanic could go back 6 hours ahead of time and warn himself, like, hey, this isn't going to work out well, he would have probably adjusted the ship.
The iceberg in Speaker Vos's metaphor here is former President Donald Trump.
Well, we have that chance now as Republicans to look and say, we know what's happening, we know how this is going to end, we can turn course and pick somebody else and probably win.
He says as it stands now, there is no chance Trump could win in Wisconsin. Republicans here have simply moved on. And he says the same thing about Republicans looking to challenge Senator Tammy Baldwin next fall, that they should stay away from the Trump mindset. But we also heard today an admission that you don't often get from politicians.
I said sometimes elected officials have to look the taxpayers in the eye and say, I screwed up, right? And that is why I should have never hired Mike Gableman.
That's the former Supreme Court justice who spent about a year investigating fraud tied to the 2020 election. Now, of course, no widespread fraud was found, and after running up a bill for taxpayers in the millions, he was mocked by Vos.
Mike Gableman is an embarrassment to the state.
Now, if you remember back to 2020, there was a small push by Republicans in the legislature to have the legislature overturn the state's election results. Now, Vos spoke to that today, saying that he will not let that happen going forward, saying that he wants that power to remain outside the state legislature. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Video of former President Donald Trump's deposition in the E. Jean Carroll civil trial was publicly released today. Carroll suing him for battery and defamation, claiming Trump sexually assaulted her and defamed her years later by calling the allegations a hoax.
The video deposition was taken last October. In this clip, Trump looks at a photograph of Carroll and mistakes her for his second wife, Marla Maples.
You're saying Marla's in this photo?
That's Marla, yeah. That's my wife.
Which woman are you pointing to? No.
Here.
Carroll.
Oh, is that?
The person you just pointed to was E. Jean Carroll.
Who is that? Who is this?
Point, your wife.
Trump's attorneys rested their case without making a defense. The judge is giving the former president the weekend to reconsider whether he will testify in his defense.
If you have any at-home COVID-19 tests, check your medicine cabinets. The FDA is recalling at-home tests belonging to the brand pilot. That recall order says the liquid buffer solution may be contaminated with potentially harmful bacteria. People with pilot tests are advised to throw the entire test in the trash, to not open the vials of the liquid, and to not pour anything down the drain. No illnesses have been reported, but direct exposure to the liquid, they say, in that tube could lead to serious illness.
After more than 3 years, COVID-19 is no longer a global health emergency. That declaration comes from the World Health Organization. Its director says the virus's downward trend for the last year has allowed most countries to return to pre-pandemic life. The United States is set to let its COVID-19 public health emergency end on May 11th, and when that ends, so does Title 42.
That pandemic-era policy allows immigration authorities to rapidly turn back thousands of migrants without giving them a chance for asylum. But Homeland Security officials are trying to drive home the message the U.S. border is not open. Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas says federal officials have arrested more than 10,000 smugglers. Mayorkas urged Congress to take action to fix an immigration system he calls broken.
We are working within a broken immigration system that for decades has been in dire need of reform. That is a fact about which everyone agrees. And we urge Congress to fix our broken immigration system.
Earlier this week, the president announced he's sending an additional 1,500 troops to the border as they brace for the end of Title 42. That makes more than 4,000 soldiers deployed to the southern border.
The United Kingdom hasn't witnessed a coronation since 1953, and that changes tomorrow when Britain officially crowns King Charles III. Ahead of the coronation, Charles made a public appearance, greeting people near Buckingham Palace today. More than 2,200 guests are expected at tomorrow's ceremony, which is taking place at Westminster Abbey. First Lady Jill Biden will attend to represent the United States. You've heard of speed dating, but how about speed interviewing?
Still ahead at 10, a local radio host's pursuit of a station record to speak with the most people in 1 hour's time. We'll share how he did it next.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Are record high energy and water costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive. While you may not ask for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm, Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to be without heat, water, or power. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.heat.help.
George uses AT&T. Anthony has Spectrum One. With AT&T, George pays $55 for internet and $75 for his unlimited extra mobile line.
Plus monthly fees. Ouch.
With Spectrum One, Anthony gets internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile for $49.99 a month. Go to spectrum.com/save more to see how much you can save. Get Spectrum internet for only $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and a free unlimited mobile line. Visit spectrum.com/save more or call 833-714-4999 today.
You may want to attend college,
but you have a full-time job and kids that need your full-time attention.
How can you possibly attend college?
You learn online at South University.
Earn your degree any hour, any day, from anywhere.
And the credit transfer policies also make it easier to return to college.
The convenience of taking classes where you want.
The flexibility of taking classes when you want.
So you can become who you want.
South University Online.
1-800-211-2082.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, Rainn Wilson has a pet you've never heard of.
We have a zonkey, part donkey, part zebra. That's Derek. He's a jerk.
Plus, vocalist Layla Hathaway.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
Only on WRT will you meet Janis Joplin from Another Life. Thank you. Here's a friend. Here's your friend. Here's the festival's friend. We got to speed it up, okay? We are about to break the 24-year-old WORT record. I am like coming undone here.
Very busy morning for WORT FM host Andy Moore, the new station record holder for most guests interviewed in an hour. He accomplished that feat during his show, the Friday 8 o'clock buzz outside the WORT station there on Bedford Street. 86 people were interviewed by Andy, meaning each interview lasted an average of 42 seconds. That beats the former record of 71 set back in 1999 by former host Jonathan Zaroff. A variety of city and community leaders were interviewed by Moore, including Governor Tony Evers. New at 10, a longtime Madison arts tradition returned this evening all across town. The Madison Museum of Contemporary Art's Gallery Night brings a wide variety of art exhibits and receptions to different venues throughout the city. Original artwork was for sale at some of those venues, a majority of which were held on the Isthmus. Not a bad night for dinner downtown and an art walk popping in and out of the multiple galleries available. And best of all was all the different art galleries on display.
Students at Madison's Elvium Elementary School are helping make life just a little bit easier for new mothers. These girls put together literacy kits for new moms of color at Meriter Hospital. The donation comes specifically from the school's Black Girl Magic Club, a local nonprofit providing opportunities to black girls. While the girls were the ones making the delivery, they say the entire school was involved with the project.
We didn't know we were going to go to Meriter and stuff. We thought we were just going to do a Black Girl Magic. And then we all as a group decided to do this.
Everyone in the school had to make like bookmarks, blankets, baby onesies.
The donation was made in honor of former LVM teacher Stephanie Bernard, who passed away last year before retirement. A security camera at a car wash captured a frightening moment for a California aunt. A gust of wind pushes the stroller carrying her baby nephew, and she stumbles chasing after it, helplessly watching it roll away toward busy traffic. It's a story that could have ended horribly if not for a nearby Good Samaritan who stops that stroller. Ronald Nessman is the man in the video, and he says he just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Nessman is an unemployed truck driver and has just finished a job interview when he accompanied his sister to the car wash when he heard screaming. The video of him racing to stop the stroller and the baby inside has now been viewed millions of times on social media.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that is me. Yeah, I did do that. You know, and looking back, it's like, yeah, that was me. And it feels good.
Wow. Well, as for that job interview, he received it. He's received that offer, and he accepted it.
Yeah. Well, from the save of the baby boy to the save of a baby duck, ducklings, in fact, police and firefighters Greenburgh, New York, were on the Quack attack and rescued 10 ducklings that fell into a storm drain. 9 of the 10 ducklings were secured by rescuers with a simple net. One found its way, though, too far into the storm drain pipe. Firefighters had to use a controlled water current to gently push it toward the mouth of the pipe where it was collected. Some good duck weather tonight in Madison. The rain falling out there. Julian's back with a check of your first one forecast as we're ready for the weekend, Julian.
And the rain is ready for us as well, because as we head into the weekend, folks, we're going to be seeing those showers continue from tonight into the early parts of our Saturday. Now, not all of Saturday is going to be soggy and flat out wet, but we'll get into that in just a moment, because for the rest of tonight, we're going to be seeing those showers, which is just around Madison, continue to push towards the southwestern side of Wisconsin. But you see near Platteville, just to the south, we're starting to get a bit more intensity of some rain that's starting to fall. So we will start to see a bit more moderate rainfall heading into the later parts of tonight. And we can't rule out a potential cell to pop up of a thunderstorm, but we're not looking for it to be very widespread, strong, or severe overnight. Now, as we get into Saturday, what we're going to be watching for is, folks, we have a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for seeing severe weather, mainly west of Madison. So to the north and west of southern Wisconsin is where we are looking for that area to have any storms that could fire off to be strong and or severe. Now, that same area, but a bit more expanded across Dane County. Parts of Jefferson and Rock County are going to be under the marginal risk, but we're looking for a slight risk just south of Prairie du Chien, west of Platteville, and near Dubuque, where we could see some storms starting to fire off. So level 2 out of 5 for those areas. So that's what we're going to be keeping our eyes on, but there's still plenty of uncertainty with these these storms or even the rain in itself throughout much of this weekend. So from tonight into Sunday, we're going to be seeing those temperatures all weekend into the 70s and even near 80 degrees as we get into Sunday. But we could see those showers not only just for tonight, but even heading into tomorrow. And then again, resurging into thunderstorms that could be strong or severe for some areas, but the severe threats in themselves is rather low. We are going to be watching for, though, any storms that could turn severe to be producing some hail and high winds that could be hitting some isolated areas going into mainly Sunday night and heading into the early parts of next week. So let's take a look at our future track. Planning out the first half of our weekend, we're going to be watching for the southwest and just near Dane County to really be seeing much of that rain, but it starts to fall apart once we get closer to the noon hour. We could have a couple of areas still dealing with a few bands of rain, but much of our afternoon here in southern Wisconsin is going to be dry. Cloud cover is going to stick around. Any breaks that we could see in that cloud cover, though, could add as fuel for any storms to fire off on our Saturday nights. That could be not only strong, but once again severe and a bit more broken up as we head overnight into our early Sunday mornings. That's a few things to watch for, especially since temperatures are just going to be so warm. Sunday is really where we're having all the ingredients for any kind of strong or severe storms, because we're adding sunshine and temperatures that are going to be climbing near 80 degrees, which is just convective fuel for any storms to fire off going into Sunday night into our early Monday morning. We could see some significant rainfall, especially just south and west of Dane County. But even for Dane County, we're still looking at a bit of some chances that it could push past that half-inch mark of rainfall and start to reach into maybe an inch for some areas. Take a look at our 10-day here, the First Warn weather team. Your first warn is that next week we are still going to be dealing with some stormy-like weather. Not for Tuesday through Thursday, but for next weekend, we're going to be watching for temperatures to not only be warm, but still have some storm potential hanging in our forecast.
Julian, thank you. Tonight's baseball game between the Red Sox and Philadelphia Phillies was briefly paused when a fan fell into the bullpen. Pitchers were motioning for help after a man tumbled over protective railing and fell one level down into the Red Sox bullpen during the first inning. Now, initial reports indicate he may have been going after a baseball that was tossed his way before falling. Good news is he was alert and responsive before being carted away.
And coming up in sports, enshrined in Pewaukee sports history, why the Watts were back in town where it all began. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
Looks like they finally got rid of that trip hazard. They pump it full of mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Where are the patched holes? Where's the splashed mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Concrete lifting technologies can quickly raise and level any concrete surface using cutting-edge foam technology made in Wisconsin. Fast and accurate and eco-friendly.
How did those guys do it? Where are the holes? Where's the mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
We went to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison last night.
I don't really get how the jackpots work.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison actually has had multiple million-dollar winners.
There are linked progressive slot machines at the same casino where local players increase the jackpot amount.
And a standalone progressive jackpot increases when a player plays on an individual machine that isn't linked to any other machines. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. More ways to win. Find your perfect jackpot.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
To everyone who appreciates a handcrafted meal, are you ready for a taste of Wisconsin?
Butterburger's cooked fresh, just the way you like.
The way you love.
Definitely love.
And our thick and creamy frozen custard,
We make it for you all throughout the day.
all day.
All day, every day.
Put it in the extra work and not cutting corners.
Takes a little longer.
But it's how we've always done it at Culver's. Because making your meal with care shows how much we care.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next?
Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543.
How do we decide what hotel to book?
Fear not, I got you. Choice Hotels has a hotel for every type of stay. Like a comfort with the kiddos.
Spacious.
That's what they all say. Stay twice and get a $50 gift card when you book direct at choicehotels.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Non-drowsy Claritin knocks out symptoms from over 200 allergens without knocking you out. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Live Claritin Clear.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
If it hadn't sunk in yet for the Packer draft picks that their dreams of playing in the NFL has become a reality, it did after today. The franchise kicked off their rookie minicamp, and of course it was kind of a starstruck moment walking into historic Lambeau Field. But once the initial shock wore off, this group made it clear they want to contribute to this team right away.
I'm trying to learn this defense, man. I want to play. Like, that's the best way to play. I want to play. I want to be on the field. I sat the bench one time in my career. Hated it. So I vowed I'm busting my tail to get on that field, whether I got a special team, D-line. I'm just trying to get on that field. I'm hungry.
It was a big night at Pewaukee High School for the Watt family. Former Badgers and current Pittsburgh Steelers TJ and Derek returned to where it all began to have their jerseys retired, of course following in the footsteps of older brother JJ. The three brothers now are forever enshrined in Pewaukee Pirate history. Guarding Against Cancer returned tonight for an old-fashioned experience at the Cole Center Supper Club. Can you pick out this year's theme? Well, the cause is still the same. Raise money for cancer research and care across the state of Wisconsin. And this year, Greg Gard brought in the big guns. Matt LaFleur to help, and the head of the Packers made it clear it was a no-brainer to team up and support this cause.
He was just a matter of, hey, I'll make sure I can schedule rookie camp around that a little bit, and I'm going to try to make it. So I gave him about 4 or 5 days. I hit him back with a text, and then he hit me back and said, I'm in.
We all pull for one another, whether you're from Wisconsin or from another place. I mean, we're here. We know how passionate our fans are in the state, so it's great that we all cheer for one another and support one another.
Wisconsin softball hosting Iowa in their Big Ten series opener. Badgers scored 2 in the first, and then Kayla Conwent added another run in the 5th. She smacks one through for an RBI single to put Bucky up 3-0, and that was more than enough run support for Maddie Schwartz. The ace pitched the shutout. Badgers get a much-needed win, 3-0 the final. Joe Pavelski's playoff tear continued last night. The former Badger flicks in the puck off a rebound for his 5th goal in 2 games against the Kraken to help the Stars even the series at a game apiece. The goal was his 69th career playoff goal, good enough for 3rd all-time on the active players list. The Pride of Plover sits 3 goals behind Alex Ovechkin and 2 behind Sidney Crosby. Late first pitch for the Brewers tonight, and the Giants in their series opener on the West Coast. Last check of this one, they're tied at 2 in the 5th inning. We're back after this.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
Join the Circle of Life at the Lion King. Experience the world's #1 musical. Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Coming to Overture Center May 11th through 28th. Tickets on sale now at overture.org.
Low
E, also known as low energy, is wreaking havoc on millions.
I can't even pull out the hose.
Thankfully, there's Planet Fitness. Now through May 10th, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. It's how you turn your low E into big fitness energy. Our clean and spacious, judgment-free zone has equipment for every workout to keep you energized all day. Simply join through the free PF app for $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, May 10th.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to bruxnightguard.com and order yours today.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Menards has everything to grow the perfect lawn, all 11% off. No matter the conditions of your yard, we have the right grass seed for you. Grab a 3-pound bag of Schultz Sun and Shade, Hardy, Shady, or High Traffic grass seed for $8.99 after rebate. FPP's Volt Edge Lawn and Garden Battery will power all of your tractors and lawnmowers. Each battery is built with the power to get you started. Now just $26.99 after exchange and 11% rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Schedule your comprehensive eye exam at shopko.com or bring in your outside prescription.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
Julian's back. Final check of the weekend forecast.
It's going to be a wet one, but there are times where it won't be raining, so take advantage of that when we have it, I guess, because Saturday afternoon and evening hours, we're not expecting for showers or storms, but we will be looking for those storms for Saturday nights and for our Sunday nights as well. That'll carry into our Monday, and then we will have a break from the wet weather from Tuesday to Thursday. You may see a stray shower, but overall, 70s are in the forecast, and then our first warn is another weekend of more wet weather.
But things can change.
Things could change.
Julian, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good and have a great weekend.